Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean here with Blue Ridge Silverhound, and yeah, officially we are back to a normal upload schedule with the reports and the videos here on the channel, which is really awesome news. We got some really big things coming in on the horizon that I think a lot of you will appreciate and will love. Something new that I've never integrated onto my YouTube channel in the 11 plus years that I've been doing this. So stay tuned for that. We're going to see some updates roll out here in the next 30 days, and then, we'll go from there. But we have the Monday market report for the week ending August 13, 2023. Very crazy report. Probably one of the craziest that I've seen in quite some time. Hot off the heels of the Pittsburgh A&A show, where it's one of the biggest events, one of the busiest, and I've noticed a trend. We're seeing a lot more influencers, a lot of that 18 to 25-year-old demographic getting into the hobby, and they are making a huge impact in numismatics right now. And I don't know if that's great news or not. From a growth perspective, that's awesome. But I'm telling you, the crowds that I have been seeing at the shows has been unparalleled. And in this particular age demographic, we're talking like teenagers and early and younger adults that are spending tens of thousands of dollars. And you got to wonder, where in the heck is this money coming from? Well, they're big TikTok influencers. They do Instagram, they do Snapchat and all this stuff. And that's how they're bankrolling a lot of these coins up and down. So we're seeing classics on the move. We're seeing moderns just crazy all over the place. And this week, coming off of great collections, we have probably one of the deepest pull of coins that have sold over $1,000 that cover that post 1900, what I normally call the modern era of numismatics, anything beyond the year 1900 all the way up to the current date. Great Collections was absolutely simply loaded with a lot of high-end registry coins. I'm willing to bet that a lot of that younger age demographic is starting to look at registry sets. You know, it's not an old man sport anymore. I think that bus has come and gone. But man, I'm just in the period of the last like 5 days, I have seen with my own two eyes this generational switch flipped, which is going to ultimately change the landscape. That's going to change values. You know, it's pretty crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of that going on. The grades are the grades. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, it's a really crazy report. I could have made this report about 70, 80 coins. As you guys know, I don't really do that for the MMRs. I usually stick between like 18 to 20. I had to extend it out a little bit more. We're at 23, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole iceberg under the water, that's as big and broad as you would believe. But yeah, I mean, these are all graded coins, as you guys know. No real secret here. A lot of it, again, is geared toward the registry set system, where folks are picking up some of the higher end pieces to fill their respective sets. They post them online on PCGS's or NGC's website. And now, mycollect.com is another resource where you could build your own registry set using all different types of grading companies. Even Annex is going to be involved in that. So we're going to see a huge shift here. So you guys buckle up and get ready. It's going to be absolutely one of the most earth-shattering events in this hobby. That will probably end up, if it was at all in danger of going extinct, I would say that that's simply not the case anymore. I think, collecting money and flashing rarities and, $500 bills and $1,000 bills on the currency side, kind of like in the fashion that Floyd Money Mayweather does, is going to make a huge impact all across various age groups. All right, so enough about that. Let's go ahead and just jump right in. This is really crazy. We have a number of really ultra-modern Lincoln cents. These are all the top of their class as far as grade level is concerned. We have a trio of Mint State 69 red Lincoln cents that, of course, the only place that these fit into is going to be in a registry set for Lincolns. All right, so this is a 1990D Lincoln here, PCGS 69 red. It's a Denver, which these things are normally very high graded to begin with, and Denver minted coins have the best quality, bar none, on anything post 1980. This particular coin sold for $3,490.88. So yeah, that's how we're kind of kicking things off here, is some massive gems. And again, yeah, this is not financial advice. It's all entertainment based, of course, like any video that all 2,600 videos that I've done, as you guys know. So use caution if you're going to use the grading services, because you might end up spending more money than you realize just in submission fees. And you want to make sure it's worth it. Your grading game has to be high and tight. I'm not going to stop you guys from doing that. Me personally, I did this experiment 6-7 years ago. It was chronicled on my channel, and I just gave it up. All right, because it was way too much stress. The money was leaving the bank account faster than it was coming in. Doing it. So we have another one here, 1980 AD. It's fantastic. Another 69 red by PCGS. Another stalwart of a registry set. And this is a little bit more difficult one. There aren't too many 88Ds in this grade. This one sold for $9,281.25. In today's real world, you could buy 4 really nice high quality $20 double eagles, among a few other things. That's just one kind of comparison here. And it's one that's really hard to swallow. Like, how do you compare a 1988D Zinken of this ilk, this grade, which is a top pop, to 4 high quality St. Gaudens? Again, it's crazy. 1986D, another one here. Although 86D, there are a number of them in 69 reds. This is, I guess, one of the more plentiful dates in a 69. So most of the power players in the registry set scene has an 86D already in their collection. And that's the big reason why that this one only sold for $1,535.62. So one of the more widely available. Still quite a valuable coin, but you guys have to see with your own 2 eyes and understand that the more of these that are graded at the highest level, it's just going to disintegrate the overall value of this particular top pop grade across all the coins, not just the newest ones that come out. So the more you pump into the system, the least valuable that they're going to be. The next one that we have here is a 73D. Now, it's going to be really hard to find anything, above like a 66 on a lot of these dates from 50, 60 years ago. All right, they're just not the best quality. Denvers are okay, like this one here. NGC pegged this one as a 68 red, and this one sold for $1,986.75. Again, through NGC, it's a top grade. PCGS obviously is where you need to be in the 68 red for this thing to really be kind of like that next level coin for a registry. But NGC, is carving a huge niche out of the registry set scene as well. So do not ignore NGC plastic. Here's the 1960D. This is a small date variant. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 67 Plus red. Another good looking coin. But, when we looked at the first few Lincoln cents and compare it to this one, it's like a night and day difference in quality. Because, we're talking about, a 20 plus year difference between the two. Technology has changed. Quality control is a little bit better in the 80s compared to the 60s, which the 60s is just rife with all sorts of bad quality. It didn't matter if it was a Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco minted coin. It was just all bad. This one right here sold for $4,111.88. Again, another sky-high price on a coin that I'm sure a lot of us have uncovered in a bankroll or in change before in nice shape. Okay, we have a 1958. Now, this one looks comparatively a lot better than the 60D. All right, and this one was hiding under a rock for many decades until it was finally found and subsequently sent to the graders at one point. Now, this one is a 67 plus red. It's also a CAC green bean coin, so it's kind of like it's double certified. It was initially graded by PCGS. It was sent over to a company called Certified Acceptance Corporation, which, by the way, nowadays they grade their own coins. All right, so they still do that, and they still offer the CAC sticker service. They're kind of overlapping both. All right. So any Philadelphia minted coin of the 50s, quite tough. All right. So when you find one that's in the top grade, congratulations. It's worth a lot of money. This one ended up selling for $12,947.62. A superhuman strength kind of price tag on what is one of the more commonly minted dates in the Weed Scent series. 1954, this is one of the rarities in Philadelphia and Top Hop. All right, Mid-State 67 red is what we're looking at here. These things were just garbage quality all around, but finding one that was nice enough to deserve a 67, is going to be a super future kind of like, big fortune type of coin here. This one sold for $16,312.50. Just in the last two coins together, I mean, we're talking about what, $29,000, out of two rather pedestrian coins. It's silly. This whole thing is silly. It's a continue to get sillier. We're going to be seeing younger folks coming in and actually tackling these things, and they're going to be laughing to the bank, with their their OnlyFans money and all that stuff. It's weird. Next one that we have here, ever popular steel scent, right? 1943S. These things will be popular till the end of time. One shot, different composition, World War II era. Need I say more? All right. 68 is the grade to be at on any of the steel scents. This one just so happens to have a nice little kicker by CAC with that green bean. Beautiful looking coin, and this one sold for $4,824. These things simply do not drop in value. All right, they're popular, they're collectible, they're registry set necessities. It's an all around kind of crowd pleaser. All right, so we're on to nickels. Nickels also impressed this week. We have a couple of the aforementioned kind of like, I don't know, just regular blah kind of dates, 1983p. Always going to be needed in a registry set that's dependent on full strikes. And that's with the full steps. This one is a 66 full stepper with PCGS. And it sold for $4,050. So if you think the full red Lincoln Cent registry is crazy, the full step nickel folks are just as maniacal with those deep pockets. And we also have some of the more tougher dates here. There were actually a number of 1950s nickels that sold, but I couldn't talk about all of them. Here's a 59p, another tough date. Mid-State 67, full steps, of course, through the grading company PCGS. And this one sold for $3,487.50. Great collections, notes, a little bit of a tone here. I see a nice kind of like steel gray with some blues in there. Really attractive looking coin. Again, if it were me, I don't personally invest in coins like this, but these again are made for an ultra niche registry set system that all of the ultra rich kind of delve into. And we also have this one nice little pastel toned beauty here. We have a 52S. Okay, a little bit tough date. Some would say that S-Mint coins are a little bit better during the 50s, not by much. This one looks pretty decent and looks like it has a fair luster swirl on there. Mid-State 67 full steps is what we realize on this coin, and it sold for $7,281. All right, we haven't even seen the five-figure Jefferson nickels, and it's only going to be a matter of time. I'm willing to bet that the next dissolved nickel registry that ends up, that person quits and wants to sell all their coins, that's where we're going to see some fireworks happen. So, next one that we have here, we had a trio of some of the rarest buffalo nickel dates, especially at high grades. Usually you don't see them this high grade. They're generally VG and fines and, in just really, really poor state of condition, because these were effectively kind of the workhorse coins of early America, all right, the early 20th century. I'm not going to say early America because these weren't around in the, early 1800s, but you guys get the big idea here on this one. Roaring 20s, Great Depression age, that area. So 26S is bar none one of the rarest. I mean, we don't need to talk too much about, why, ifs, and hows of these coins. This one is a mid-state 64, and it sold for $9,438.75. Not the highest graded example, I'll tell you that. We also have a 24S, another tough one. Any Denver or San Francisco 1920s Buffalo nickel, rest assured, they are, some of the most highly pursued coins. And we know the Buffalo nickel series as being one of the top, series of collecting. Once you've graduated beyond Lincoln Cents, oftentimes people will go to Buffalo nickels as kind of like that next tackle. This one right here is sold for $7,313.62. And again, not the highest grade of this coin because those sell for many tens of thousands. 23S, another big one here. This time a mid-state 65. It's got a CAC green bean. And you notice a little bit of a trend. These 1920s minted coins, they generally have not the best luster. All right, but that's just a sign of the times. None of the coins had the best presentation during the 20s. Whether it's the Lincolns, the dimes, whatever. They just weren't the best. This one here sold for $5,416.88. Very nice trio of 1920s Buffaloes. All right, we do have a few dimes to talk about now. When it comes to some of these coins, obviously the archive toning on a lot of it is really what puts it into a completely different class, all right? And that's kind of why, a lot of money is being generated and pumped into these coins, is simply the artistic nature of them. We have a mid-state 68 full torch on this rather common dated 1946. It is the first date, of course, of the, the Roosevelt dime design. Take it for what it's worth. These days, nobody really likes the coin for its size and just kind of basic look to it. But this one right here, there are dedicated collectors of things like this, either toner collectors or registry sets of Roosevelt dimes are still out there. This one sold for $1,415.25. A little splash of color on both sides of this Mercury dime. Great modern, ultra available coin. I could see in the perfect scenario buying this raw, at a coin shop, and they just don't know any better as to, what they have. But yeah, this one's pretty cool. I just like the innocent nature of this. Like, you could look at a dealer stock, find this coin in a 2x2, and they would be asking like $25 for it. This is a mid-state 68 plus, full bands, CAC certified. This one has all the juice, and it sold for $3,712.50. And that price is attained through a various mixture of things. The high grade, the toning, you name it. And 38S. This is, believe it or not, a closet quasi tough date right here in high grades. It just so happens that we are looking at a mid-state 68 full bands. This is one of the cleanest examples of this date that I have seen in quite some time. And it sold for $7,781.24. So a really stunner here. All right, so I was more than a little bit shocked about this coin because the FS102 Bicentennial Quarter, which is a Denver, by the way, Denver minted piece, is probably one of the weakest doubled dies that you could possibly ever find. And why it's still a variety is beyond me. Some of the doubling is on the word liberty. It's not cool. This is not one of the coolest varieties. The FS101 is quite impressive, but this one right here is just it's mid. It's a very mid coin. It's wild. I mean, for the price tag, it is a 67. It's not the highest grade on a bicentennial quarter. I believe 68 is the highest grade for it. This one still managed to sell because of the variety for $1,912.50. Now this is the prettiest toner on this week's list. 1964. I mean, this is 64, right? They made hundreds of millions of these, but this puppy right here was preserved in something to where it colored very nicely, not even sure if it's an album or if it was in a roll or a little tiny envelope or if it was sitting in a jewelry box. I don't know. But NGC got this one as a mid-state 67 plus with a star. So it's got, this one is like awesome. One of my favorite coins, and just shows you the possibility of what you can find out there. And these do exist in dealer stock. I've cherry-picked tons of toned coins in my lifetime. This one sold for $2,756.25. The question for some of you that prefer Blast White, would you go out of your way to dip this thing, knowing full well that you'd be throwing away a few $1,000s? I probably would not do that. If you don't care for it, grade it, slab it, send it off to Great Collections or whoever, and claim your cash, and then go ahead and buy as many Blast Whites as you want. There is a concession here. You just have to realize that whatever your thoughts or your philosophies are, keep the toning on the coins. 1958, not my favorite. Of course, this is not my favorite toning, but it's the original skin to the coin, which means it hasn't been dipped at all. Denver Mint on this one, so it's very common. Mint State 68, such a high grade. So this one sold for $4,955.62. Again, really big, giant price tags on rather common pedestrian dates. And to kind of wrap things off, the last few coins are larger denoms. How about 1965 Candy Half Dollar, everybody's favorite 40%er. That we love hunting for in boxes. All right, but it just so happens this one is a 67 plus through NGC, and it sold for $2,552.62. We haven't talked, nor has there been a lot of love for Susan B's. Poor old lady over here. How about 1981D? All right, it's worth a shot. We'll throw it in there. Mid-State 68. Not the most popular registry set. It's a very short series. What else can we say? It's just here because of the grade. This one sold for $1,462.50. I would probably say that you should not try and grade any Susan B's or Sacagawea dollars. They're just not really hot in the market right now. And that's a given. But given the right circumstances, you could still see some pretty nice sized price tags coming out of these. And the final coin of the week, my goodness, what a nice one. And if you guys know your Ike dollars like I do, it is near impossible to find a coin that does not have any nicks or scratches anywhere on it. For as big of a bullseye as these things are, I'm telling you, there should be enough dings and nicks on these to disqualify it from grades above 66. All right. However, some lucky son of a gun ended up finding probably, I'm not gonna say for certain like the perfect coin, but it's pretty close to it. It's got the luster. The fields are undeniably clean. You might see it kind of a few small like the very tip of a needle sized type of anomalies on there, but overall this is just a beauty, and it is a top pop. This one sold, get this, $5,400. Yeah, one of the first states of the Ike dollar, and it is Denver. Again, the Denvers are a little bit better well struck. Try finding a Philadelphia 71, and you won't find something like this. All right, generally it's a rarity. It's kind of a unicorn out there. But yeah, there you go. That concludes the crazy MMR. A lot of coins, a lot of big dollar, price tag type stuff. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. It was certainly a pleasure to talk about all of these wonderful coins with you here today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. One of the updates I will let you guys know what they are is I'll be opening up my Facebook and my Instagram. All right, so I'm going to be cross-posting, shorts videos and reels and things like that on all the platforms, so that way it doesn't matter what platform you favor most over the other. You're going to get 24/7 Blue Ridge Silverhound content. Hopefully you guys will like that. So, we'll see. But we'll love to hear your thoughts. Did you have a favorite coin on this week's show? Because it was massive. And I feel like that these things in the near future, within the next 6 to 12 months, if I'm predicting it kind of like nearly remotely close, I might be doing like 25, 30 coins on these things. And I really don't want to do that. But again, that's going to be a sign of the times, and you guys certainly need to know of that booming kind of market adjustment. But that's it. I'm out of here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that great stuff that I have to say every end of the video. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Enjoy your Monday. Be safe. And I will see you on the next coin video. So long, my friends.